Hey guys, Brett here, and on today's Absolutely Effortless Prosperity lesson number 10, I am open to receive all of God's gifts. This lesson is very powerful. If you practice it, it will make you attracting more gifts that you are meant to have, because you are also a creator like God, like the universe. You have the same energy in you. So please make sure you get comfortable. No distractions, so we can get started right now. Day 10, lesson 10. I am open to receive all of God's gifts. Today, all day, I literally walk around with my hands open to receive. I'm not surprised when I realize that I'm receiving without having to do anything. When someone offers to contribute something to me, I accept graciously, knowing that each gift is a gift from God. I experience profound thankfulness and gratitude within myself. God hears my thankfulness and gratitude and responds with more gifts from many sources. Today, I remember to keep saying to myself, I am open and receiving all of God's gifts. And assignment for day 10 is, walk around all day with your hands open to receive. Imagine your spiritual self walking around with hands open to receive, exactly as you see it on this front cover. That's how you should be walking. Smile. I'm open to receive to all God's gifts. Everything that comes to me is a gift from a God, from the universe, right? From the source. So affirmation for today is, I see world peace. So again, make sure you say this many times. I see world peace. I see world peace, and really feel it. Make sure you, before that, you just do some breathing like we always do. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Do this like at least 10 times, and then with your eyes closed, feel it. I see world's peace. I see world's peace. I see world's peace. Right? And just do this really at least like 30, 40, 50 times, 3 times a day. So let's go to recommended reading. So we learn more for this day lesson. And the first reading is asking for what you want. Let's go. Shortly after I had paid off my automobile, it started to require repairs. The problems were not major, but they were consistent and annoying. Every time there was another problem, I experienced turmoil and said to myself, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. Finally, I recalled some very good words of advice that my guide had given me in the past, simply to ask the universe for what I wanted. I truly desired to get rid of my old automobile and decided to ask for a new one. During my next meditation, while I was giving a very involved explanation of why my car was an annoyance, my guide interrupted me. Bijan, he said, please leave the story behind and get to the bottom line. What is it that you desire? I thought for a moment and then told him that I wish to have a new car. He asked what type and how much. I said I didn't know, but that I would like a 4-wheel drive vehicle. He told me to come to him with definitive information, not with a vague request. Over the next few days, I drove all types of 4-wheel drive trucks, including a Samurai, Pathfinder, Jeep, and 4Runner. Finally, I went back to my guide and told him that I liked the 4Runner best, and that it would cost $24,000. My guide told me that it was done. Within 1 month, I had a closing on a real estate deal in which I had put very little effort. The deal was unexpected, a gift, and my commission was exactly $24,000. While driving to the dealership to purchase the 4Runner, my ego became very active. It kept telling me to remember that I had been in heavy debt only shortly before this, so perhaps I should buy a Jeep and save $6,000, or buy a Samurai and save $12,000. Suddenly, I was in turmoil again, wondering if I truly deserved to spend all my commission on the 4Runner, or if I should save some of the money in case I might need it for something important. Then I began to laugh at myself. Even though I had learned my lesson, and was now coming from prosperity. My ego was still coming from scarcity. Ego's arguments were strong but ineffective. I ignored them and purchased the Forerunner. And if you are trying to do law of attraction, or if you try to manifest things for quite some time, here is big example of why you should stick with what you really want, because you asked and the universe give it to you, right? You manifest things. If you after you get it, or before you even want to get it, and you have these doubts, the next time it will be very difficult for you to manifest, right? Because universe is always, or the God, universe, whatever, is still saying, dear child, you don't know what you want. I am not going to give you unless you know exactly what you want. Even in the story, Bijan, when he went to his guide, he said that he wants to have a better car, and basically the guide asked him what type, how much it is, and he didn't know. Then he said, hey, come to me when you know, because I'm not gonna act on this, right? So make sure you really know what you want before you actually ask the universe to get it, right? Before you start manifesting. Otherwise, you're gonna waste your time, right? So this is a very interesting story. And the story, what was the story number 2? Remembering my source. Very interesting story. So I hope you're gonna like it, because I do like this one as well. Every lesson I like because it's very profound. Remembering my source. One day while I was living in Australia, I walked to a beautiful park to eat my lunch. I had brought an extra loaves of bread with me to feed the birds. As I sat down on one of the benches, a half-dozen crows landed in front of me, looking for a handout. I reached into my bag for a slice of bread and threw it onto the ground. All of the crows hungrily dove for it, and the first one that reached it snatched it, the whole slice, and flew away with it. Immediately, the other crows took off, chasing the crow with the bread. I rose and hurriedly tossed the rest of the bread onto the ground, whistling and shouting to call the crows back, but they were determined to get a piece of that stolen slice. Bewildered, I sat down on the bench, wondering why they had panicked over one slice of bread and could not even see that I had thrown enough to the ground for all of them. As I thought about their behavior, a feeling of peace came over me. I just learned a profound lesson. At every moment, I can choose to be like the crows and continually ignore my source while trying to grab scraps from others. Or I can choose to let go of my fear of scarcity, knowing that God is my source. At every moment, I can allow fear to lead me towards thoughts of scarcity, or I can allow love to remind me that there is always plenty for me and for others to receive. When I left the park after finishing my lunch, all of the bread was still on the ground. No crows had returned. Since that day, I have seen everyone's prosperity in a different light. Yes, I love this story so much, because it really shows you that many people are like the crows. They are blind to their source. They think that they need to work hard for everything, and that if they get this opportunity, they're just like holding it because they don't know that new things can come. And then they complain that their job is not paying them enough. But they're like I even have friends like this, that their job they didn't like. I'm like, why don't you quit? Why don't you go and find new one? They're like, no, I need to pay the rent. I need to feed my family. I'm like, yeah, but if you complain about your job right now, then why keeping it? Like there could be better one for you, but you don't know it because you're holding it. Like in the previous lessons, when we were holding something and didn't let go, then how can you expect a different result if you don't let go? So now, just remember that the source always provides what's best for you. And it is only your choice if you go to that source and take it, or if you are just not go, if you are blind to that source, and if you are just like taking just because you think you are not smart enough, you can have only this job or something like this, right? So please guys, make sure you really put this into your mind that the source always provides for you. So if you get some aha moments, and if you learned something from this lesson, make sure you comment below, because I would like to read it and I would like to know what these lessons are teaching you. And also it's good for others, because more people will read it, more light we will together shine on other people around the globe. And yeah, we can make Earth really cool place to live. And if you really get some value from this video, make sure you hit the like button. And if you are completely new to my channel, make sure you hit subscribe button with the bell notification icon so you don't miss out on any upcoming lessons on Absolutely Effortless Prosperity.